in this interview. I recommend that you continue to network, don't get discouraged. And as I said, you only need one yes. As smaller school guys, we can't afford to just sit back and wait for someone to land us an opportunity. We have to be proactive. We have to get out there. We have to network. We have to do things on our own as well. So it's okay to have an agent working for you, but work for yourself as well.
Hi everybody, we have on this week's episode of Import of the Week, we have Andrew Fair with us. Andrew is a 6-foot point guard. He's currently playing in Bolivia in Quinoa Club. How are you, Andrew?
Doing all right. How about yourself, Coach?
Okay, doing well. Thank you for asking. So we kind of know each other in a previous angle where we had, you basically had a camp in Chicago, Illinois. So that's your hometown, right?
Correct.
Okay. Why don't you tell us? We always start with high school and college. So how did you do in high school, and where was it?
Well, I attended high school at Cavazo West in Hillside, Illinois. I actually played alongside Rob Covington, who's now playing with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I enjoyed a nice collegiate career where our team was ranked as high as top 60 in the country, and we were ranked as high as number 8 in the state. Played in the same class as Derrick Rose and Evan Turner.
Okay,
and
very nice.
It was a pretty competitive year in our class, which was 2007. And from there, I garnered, collegiate attention in regards to scholarships. I had some major Division I schools, Division IIs, and I ultimately ended up starting out at the junior college because I wanted to get more opportunities at higher level Division I schools. And I had a situation coming out of junior college where I ended up signing at University of St. Francis, which is a small NAI school.
Right. But at the same token, you had the privilege to play college ball. Shout out to any of high school or college coach or teammate you would like to do?
Well, I would like to start off with a big shout out to one of my best friends, Shelton Jackson. He actually went through the process with me. He played college basketball. We played high school basketball together as well. And we kind of shared the same journey in regard to getting our first professional opportunity. It took us about 18 months after graduating college, coming from a small school, although we enjoyed successful careers at the college level.
Right.
We came out competing against the guys at the higher level Division I schools, guys who already had pro experience. So it was a kind of, it was tough for us to get our foot in the door, but we grinded for, like I said, a little under 2 years straight. And we were able to land our first opportunity. So we kind of enjoyed the journey together.
Very nice. Interesting story about how did you end up here?
Well, it's actually, it definitely is an interesting story. I actually had an opportunity to go back to Europe, and the deal fell through. And after Europe, I had a pretty good opportunity in Africa. But the owner of the club here, I played for about 3 years ago, and we built a pretty good relationship. And he called me and he asked, hey, are you free? I mentioned the opportunity in Africa, and he kind of swayed me into coming here. And what was nice about that was I turned down a job in Africa, but they allowed me to bring one of my close friends in, which was Roy's parent. So I was able to get that deal done for him and to also land a job here with Quinoa Club. So it worked out pretty well.
That's awesome. So you kept your relationship going with the owner of the team you played for 3 years ago, and that got you an option.
Exactly.
That's incredible. Which is beautiful. That's what we're doing on this channel. Basically, is talking about these little situations and little nuggets that young guys can pick up and understand how things really work. I mean, one might think from the outside, yeah, I called my agent, he hooked me up, and end of story. But for the
Hmm.
majority of people, if you're not an NBA draft dropout, the agent's not chasing you. You need to work in order to get these
Exactly.
opportunities. And what's awesome about this story is you had multiple offers, meaning you went one direction and you really wanted it. It didn't work out, and then once Africa came around, you also had a Bolivia option, and then like, wait, I can decide, which is always better. It's always more fun.
Right. Exactly. And I always encourage players that, sometimes deals do fall through,
Right.
and there's sometimes it's really out of our control. So the best thing that you can do is just be strong-minded mentally, especially in this industry, because things do happen all the time. And like I say, sometimes it has nothing to do with the player or the club. Sometimes things just don't work out, and you can't allow it to stop you from progressing and trying to land your opportunity. So just to keep going, that's the biggest thing that I would encourage other players who are looking to get their foot in the door, or those who've had a gap in their resume and looking to get back into the market. Just
Right.
keep grinding and keep progressing forward.
What I really liked about what you said before about the length of the time it took you from graduating till you landed the first job. You mentioned 18 months, right?
Right. When I graduated college, I told myself, I knew what I was up against in regard to having to compete with the higher level guys, in regards to having to compete with the guys who already have pro experience. So I started off at the Eurobasket camp. I won MVP. I won a championship there, and I actually had an agent come up to me right after the camp, and he said, "Hey, if you sign with me, I'll get you on Italy A2 right now." So me being fresh out of college, I was naive. I signed with the
Where's the
agent,
document? I'll sign.
and
Show me the
long story short,
document.
that deal fell through. Nothing ever came. Right, exactly. So it was a
Yes.
pretty good setup. They had cameras in my face right after the championship game and said, "Hey, we'll sign you right now." So I signed with the agent. Didn't hear from the agent for a while. So I just, it was back to the drawing board for me. So after that, I went to the global basketball camp in Vegas. I made the all tournament team there, played really well there. Had an agent come up to me and say, "Hey, I have some opportunities for you." So I ended up signing with him. Nothing came from that. Um, After that, I went and signed with two other agents. So that's four total agents before I even landed an opportunity for my first job. So I actually ended up driving to Canada, and this was without any help of an agent. This was actually through my friend Shelton Jackson. He was invited to work out for a club, the Brampton A's in Canada, which was one of the better clubs in the NBA of Canada. And I went out there with Shelton, the GM David Magley. He brought me in to the office. He let me know, "Hey, I'll be honest with you. I gave you an opportunity because you had a pretty good college resume, but I have 6 point guards here, and
Wow.
you're at the bottom of my depth chart because I don't know much about you." So we worked out for about a little over a week. He brought me into his office the last day, and I had moved all the way up to the top. But yet was unable to secure a deal because I didn't have the experience that he was looking for. So he went with the more experienced guard.
And
So I
that's
go back
hold
home.
on,
I'm a little
hold on,
discouraged, but I keep working.
hold on. And we're talking about a guy that had you in his office, in his facility, liked you on
Right.
a personal level, liked your basketball, but wait, I might get someone with more experience, my GM, my owner, whatever, my sponsor will like it better, I'll go with him. So this is a
Right.
place where you were with building rapport, you were doing everything right in your power, and yet the door was slammed on your nose, nothing to do with you. So at this point,
Exactly.
you're not dragging yourself to stories. You don't go with excuses. You say, okay, they say no, I say next, and I move on to the next opportunity.
Exactly. So it was kind of discouraging, but I didn't allow it to stop me from progressing toward the ultimate goal, which was landing my first job. So I went home. I continued to work out, and midway through the season out in Canada, I received a call back from David Magley, who's a great guy, and he mentioned to me that, "Hey, our point guard is defending the way that we thought he would defend, and we want to bring you back out." So I ended up going back out to to Canada for the Brampton A's. And after leaving Canada, I actually landed my first job in Europe, which was in Lithuania. And
Right.
I had a successful season out in Lithuania. Started off slow, adapting to the basketball there, which is a really competitive country. So once I adapted, I did well there, and from there, I've played 3 seasons in South America since then.
Right.
So
One
it's
word
it's, it's
about
definitely a journey, but it's not competitive.
right. So one word about Lithuania. It's not just competitive. These guys are tough. They're tough.
Exactly, dude.
That's
Very
not.
tough, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely a tough, competitive country, and I think it's one of the better markets because it's going to show you if you can really play basketball. Because it's not just about athletic ability and talent. It's you have to think the game through. Those guys, they're pretty smart. They're not afraid of us because we're Americans, so you're going to have to play. So
Yes.
if you're really good, if you can play the game at the right way, then you'll know and let them win it because it's a pretty competitive country.
Absolutely. I agree with you. They have this toughness to them, and they give you no respect on just because you're American. They'll give you respect for your game, but they give no respect
Mhm.
based on nothing. You need to prove yourself first. So, yes.
As a
2 tips for a young stud who wants to be in your seat one day. And we're talking about someone who's now in junior, maybe senior year, watching us saying, hey, I want to go to play pro. I'm playing Division Two. I'm playing mid-major Division One or an AIA for that matter. And I'm not
Mhm.
sure where to start. What are the 2 main things that you've learned to jumpstart your career?
Okay, the first thing I would recommend for um, a younger guy, a younger player who's looking to, play pro, especially if you're coming from a small school, is you're going to have to network. Like you say, if you're not an NBA draft potential, you're going to have to network and try to build relationships and actually find relationships on your own because you don't have agents, you don't have those clubs knocking down on your door as a NBA recruit or potential draft pick would. So the first thing I would say is don't be afraid to network. I spent countless hours and days even, networking just to land an opportunity. I remember, just getting out of school and coming from the camp, look discouraged after never hearing from the agent again and
Right.
getting on the computer. I hopped on Eurobasket and I just sat there for a couple of days straight, just, looking for coaches, looking for teams, emails, GMs, and just, reaching out. I actually sent thousands of emails and I didn't receive, I maybe received maybe about 10 responses. So my first thing would be to, don't be afraid to network. My second thing would be, and I think this is more important, you only need one yes. As I mentioned, I went on Eurobasket and I reached out to thousands of contacts, and I only received about 10 responses. So that would be about thousands of no's, which you can't allow that to discourage you. It's not that you
No.
can't play, it's not that you don't have the ability. It's just a matter of finding that opportunity because it's going to be a lot tougher for us, especially coming from a smaller school. So once you get your foot in the door, that's when it's time to really lock down and to be prepared. So in the process of networking, don't forget that you need to be prepared for that opportunity. And leading up to the opportunity, you only need one yes. So don't get discouraged if a club says they're not interested. If an agent says I can't do anything for you, just
Right.
keep working because that opportunity can come.
Right. Okay. Very well. Um, One tip for a younger you, so a younger self, not as a regret, but as a wisdom to share what you thought before and turned out wrong or surprised you.
Well, in regard to my younger self, like I said, coming out of high school, I had some Division 1 opportunities, and you know, things happen. Every player has a story. I didn't go Division 1, although I had opportunities. I had situations. So, um, just a tip to my younger self would be just use the basketball. Don't let the basketball use you. When I first started out chasing this dream, I was only focused on basketball. And now that I'm older and wiser and more mature, yeah, I'm successful at basketball, making a good living for my family. But I also use basketball to open up doors for others and to um, kind of start two businesses on my own. So what I would tell my younger self is, just use basketball as a tool to and allow it to create a platform to set you up for life after basketball. Don't, just say, oh, I'm a basketball player and that's it because there's so much more to life in you as a person
Right.
than just basketball. Basketball is, you play basketball, you practice maybe 2 hours, you play games maybe 2 hours, so maybe once or twice a week. So you have all of that, the rest of that time to figure out who you are as a human being and things that you can do to set you up for life after basketball. So that would be my advice to my younger self.
Okay, that's why these are wise words, and I want to mention, since you said about starting your life or setting your life up for the after days as an athlete. Um, you have your girlfriend or wife?
Well, she will be my wife soon.
Your
So,
wife soon. Okay, so your wife to be
right.
is pregnant in what week?
She's actually 8 months.
8 months.
So
Oh,
the
so
baby is due next month. So yeah, so
exciting. That's
she's
great.
close. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, so you did not stop yourself from setting up life for after the days you're playing, and you started planning your life for later years, looking ahead into the future, and that's awesome. I think that's really wise.
Exactly, and as in regard to my lady, she's Abby's been one of the biggest support, actually the biggest support I've had in my life, especially throughout my career since I met her about 4 years back. And I had an injury. I broke my leg, and like I said, that's part of the game too. So I broke my leg, and I was out for a season. And I was kind of discouraged, just trying to figure out, okay, trying to hurry up and get back, but there was nothing else to, my bone having to heal. So she was there to support me. She kept me grounded in regard to just pushing me and motivating me to keep working and to get back healthy and to get back into the gym. And she kind of opened my eyes, and she asked me a question one day. She asked, what happens if you're unable to play basketball again? And that kind of something clicked in my head. I had to prepare myself for life after basketball. So had it not been for her, and just her being there for me, I think that it would have been a lot tougher for me in regard to getting back in shape, getting back healthy, and just landing other opportunities. So like I said, big kudos to her for everything that she's done for me in regard to supporting me on this journey.
Absolutely, and it goes. By the way, I'm not an expert in love by any means, but it goes both ways.
Hmm.
So that's you have a
Definitely.
big part with this, doing the same thing for her, and I've seen you guys in Chicago, right? So that's
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's it goes a long way. This mutual support, and that's beautiful. That's really great. You're a lucky bastard, and it's great that you're yeah. It's great that you cherish that. That's really awesome.
Hmm.
That's really awesome. So
Absolutely.
I wanted to mention, since you said that she said, what about if you can't come back to play and this and that, and you took massive action, and we talk about it
Hmm.
in the pro within you course. What we're talking about, take massive action. Don't just make a call, or you said about 1,000 emails you sent, personal emails,
Over a
not
thousand. Hmm.
spamming Facebook, personal emails. That's awesome. So since she said that, you created HoopKinect, right? So now you're not only helping yourself, you're helping others by having lists and contacts and people that contact you, that they're
Right.
looking for players.
Right. So I actually started Hoop Connect to help players who were in similar situations that I was in when I first got out of school. So let's say you have a small college guy who has the ability but are unaware of the resources. So I started out with just a contact list from the list that I developed when I first got out of school, but it gained a lot of traction. So I said, hey, maybe I can turn this into a legit business. So from there, I started highlighting players, and from there I had agents reach out, and after the agents started reaching out, I had clubs reaching out. So I just turned it into Hoop Connect. So basically, I was connecting players with opportunities for agents and teams, and within just over a year, I've helped close to 100 players. So
That's beautiful.
um,
That's beautiful.
just from that success, I've been able to help the smaller level guys all the way up to now I'm helping ex NBA guys. So players that trusting me, and it helps that I'm actually playing myself. So I'm in the process of getting my NBA agent license and FIBA license, which will set me up, like I say, for when I'm done with basketball. And
Right.
I want to continue to help players and continue Hoop Connect. And it's been a success, and it's been a nice journey being responsible for you know helping players to actually realize their dream. And one thing about me, I always tell players, it's a process. So
Right.
let's say you have a gap in your resume. Let's say you're trying to land your first job. It's a process, so you can't get discouraged because you may think, okay, he's helped 100 players. He's going to help me too. What if I can't help you? What if I, reach out to all of my resources and they're not interested? It doesn't mean that you can't play. It just means that we have to find other avenues to get you an opportunity. So I
Absolutely.
created Hoop Connect just to, give back and to help those players who, just need those opportunities.
Absolutely, and if not by you directing them or connecting them with the right club, just by knowing how you started, understanding that you sent 1,000 emails, and there is nothing. I have nothing against posting these highlights on Facebook. It's fine, but that's a supplement to real actions. That's a supplement to real networking to
Right,
get to know the people
right.
you're communicating with. That's a supplement to all this.
Hmm.
That's not instead. That's not, oh, I spammed 5 groups on Facebook. I'm good for that. No. You want to connect
Right,
with people. You
right,
want to create some traction. You want people to talk about you in a positive way and maybe invite you to a tryout overseas. Maybe call someone as a reference. You need to pass through the gatekeeper, through the preliminary screening, and then you have a better shot at your next job. So that's something very nice that if you cannot help them, these people that are around you at least can pick up your winners habits, how to network, how to be consistent when you
right,
search. So that's
right.
very nice. I will link Hoop Connect down below this, and we'll also link the Facebook or any other social media you want us to add. We will link it down below, and we will also put it somewhere up here. We will put the link and the whatever IG or whatever they call it, these kids these days, whatever they call it. So Facebook, it's Andrew Fair or Hoop Connect, and we'll provide you with the link. So Andrew,
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us today for our Import of the Week magazine, this week's edition. We really appreciate you chipping in and sharing your wisdom with the young guys that we're trying to help here.
No problem. I appreciate you having me. And also, like I say, young guys, please, please, please take advantage of the things that I mentioned here in this interview. I recommend that you continue to network, don't get discouraged. And as I said, you only need one yes. As smaller school guys, we can't afford to just sit back and wait for someone to land us an opportunity. We have to be proactive. We have to get out there. We have to network. We have to do things on our own as well. So it's okay to have an agent working for you, but work for yourself as well.
Awesome, that's great. So signing off. When is your next game?
We're set to play next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Okay, awesome. So you have you have 10 days now to prepare.
Right, right.
Okay, mini camp
So
of any sort, or not really? You're getting used to the
yeah,
arena.
weights and conditioning, and just implementing defensive schemes, and just getting ready for the season. So looking forward to
Defensive slides and closeout, huh?
it.
All right, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Very good, very good. Exciting news. Okay, good luck, Andrew. Good luck with your baby coming up.
All right, thanks again, Coach.
All right, my pleasure. Take care.
You too.